Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with some basketball analysis. The first thing that we'll talk about is Demar Derozan being dealt to the Kings on a 3-year, $74 million sign and trade. This is a really, really big move. DeMar was basically the last big free agent that could actually be moved, this summer that can actually make a huge difference for the team that he goes to. Obviously, some people were saying the Lakers, and some people were saying this, that some people were saying that. Now we got the official news, and now we know for sure. It intensified over the weekend, and they got it done. The Chicago Bulls are trading DeMar DeRozan to the Sacramento Kings. Um, After that, it basically adds, Harrison Barnes in the deal. The Kings will also send the Spurs a 2031 unprotected pick swap. The Bulls only receive Chris Duarte, who's a solid guard. He's a good role player. He's gonna have some decent size. He's gonna have some okay shooting. They also get 2 second-round picks in cash. They don't really need the cash. They just need an extra player as they retooling a little bit you know. And I think that this is a solid return for a player that's of his age, and the fact that he can still get 20 points and he can still, pass the ball well. And I'm talking about DeMar DeRozan. This is decent value for this type of player. And, you know, the Kings also have Keegan Murray too, so they're not going to really regret too much of losing Harrison Barnes because he's not a guy that can create his own shot. He's not a guy that can get his own shot. He's not a guy that's not afraid of the moment. Like DeMar DeRozan can also hit game-winning type of shots and step up in those big moments to be able to have a guy that you can trust to get you over the hill because they already have Fox and Sabonis too, making them have a lot of weapons on this Kings team, and I can see them being a great team. Like they already were on that level 2 years ago. Now they have a difference maker as a ball handler, and that's their biggest hole. And I feel like they feel that with this. And Harrison Barnes was a guy that got them standard role, which is 3 and D, and now they just needed a little bit more, out of that. Just to remember, a reminder for the people in 79 games last season, which is a lot of games for a guy his age to play. He wasn't trying to do no load management. He wanted to go out there and hoop as much as he could, and DeMar DeRozan did that. He did average 24 points, 4 rebounds, and 5.3 assists, playing with guys like Vucevic, playing with guys like Zachary LaVine, out there. And he did also play 37.8 minutes, which is a high amount of minutes for a guy. That just shows you that he's reliable and dependable, and that's something that none of us can take away from him, even if he didn't play the greatest. But he also did play great. DeRozan also increased his 3-point attempts per game to 2.8 while shooting 33%. That's about league average almost. If he can get it up a little bit more, which I can see him doing, playing off the ball sometimes, I can see him getting to about 35, 36%, which is about above average barely and or about average. So you don't have to be the greatest scorer. If you can get to the free throw line, that compensate for you not shooting threes. But if you can shoot a little bit more threes and make them at a higher clip, even if it's about a small amount, that can be a huge difference. DeMar is had a PR of 19.6, which is above his career average of 19. I will also say this team goal should be to get out the first round since they haven't done that. And that's a small, minor goal that they should be trying to reach this year. And I think that is reachable. They made it to the playoffs last year, and then this season they played in the play-in tournament. I think their goal should be is to be a non-play-in tournament team and a team that can get out the first round, which is a top 6 seed in the Western Conference. And I think that they can be that, especially with their coach that they have already. So it makes sense for them to be prioritizing trying to win. At the highest level as they can, especially with a trade like that nobody really seen them being able to make come true, and they made it happen, quickly after the phone call was picked up. Dario Saric and the Nuggets agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal. I don't really think it's crazy or amazing. He has size. He can finish a little bit with dunks. He can hit some shots. He can pass the ball decently. He averaged 8 points, 4 rebounds last season with the Warriors. The other year will be a player option, so for the second season on his contract, so he'll have the ability to go back in free agency and make another decision if he want to stay with Denver or not. Um, Simone Fontecchio, I butchered that name, but the Pistons agreed to a 2-year deal with him worth 16 million. I don't think he's going to be a huge difference maker, but he did average 15 points in 16 games with the Pistons. That's above average, but they really wasn't winning too many games anyway. He was just a guy that they liked that brought some good energy, and he also can score a little decently, which can help, help them win a little bit more games with the other talent that they got. Jordan McLaughlin signs with the Kings too as a 1-year deal. He just a solid point guard. He understands the game, has good IQ. He's not an aggressive scorer. He just goes in there to run the offense sometimes, and he can make a three every once in a while. Um, Next is some other role players that have reached a deal over the last 2 days. Miles Bridges and the Hornets agreed to a 3-year, $75 million deal. I think that's decent as long as you keep him under the 90 million and the 80 million and show him that he has a little bit more to go since he's not an all-star or a superstar. He's just a great scorer making, the best out of his opportunities in Charlotte. I think that the deal is actually going to be fair. It's a huge number to some people, but remember, Miles Bridges did average 21 points and 7 rebounds last season, so it makes sense that you have to prioritize that, even if he's going to be an asset in the future that you can actually get off of. I think that makes sense. Spurs did trade Devontae Graham and a second-round pick to the Hornets. Hornets is going to waive Devontae Graham as they had him before. He's not the guy for them, but they just really wanted the second-round pick, which can be an asset or something valuable for a team that's still in a rebuilding mode. I think that makes sense. And the Sixers did the same thing. They waived Paul Reed. Other than that, it's just a bunch of veteran minimum deals. Taco Kankar agrees to a deal with the Nuggets. AJ Mitchell did sign a 2-way contract. Sidney Lowe to join the Pistons as assistant coach. Johnny Bryant, he's going to be assistant coach. Hornets waive Pokashevsky. He's going to be a free agent. Wizards did choose to decline the $11 million option on Landry Shamet, so he's not picked up. Hornets did decide to waive Davis Bertans. He's going to be a solid shooter people can pick up over the summer. Tyler Smith did agree to a 4-year deal with the Bucks. It's only worth $7 million, so he's going to be on a controllable contract, and it's always going to be a fill-in type of contract if they ever choose to trade. Malik Beasley also did agree to a 1-year deal worth $6 million for the Detroit Pistons. And Caleb Martin agrees to a 4-year deal worth $32 million. He's a guy that can really shoot off the ball and make good plays. And other than that, I'm done. Hope to see you guys later. Remember to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and continue to support Analysis Playground.